Arc de Triomphe, an iconic architectural monument in the center of Paris. We have arrived in one of the biggest European capitals. Soon, the Kazakh President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev will pay his state visit to France. The agenda will include a number of events and high-level meetings, which will enable new and promising projects in different sectors of economy. We, as usual, will be following the agenda of the visit very closely to keep you informed. So let's get started.
The road to the airport of the city of Paris is long. We're going there to film the arrival of the President of Kazakhstan, who is paying his second consecutive visit to France since 2022. Before entering the air harbor, a rigor check awaits us. Luckily for us, everything is all right. We are all set to cover the important visits. The big flags of two countries are wavering at the entrance to the airport's runway. Paris is ready to host its honored guest. President of Kazakhstan Kassym-Jomart Tokayev has arrived in France's capital, Paris. He is welcomed by the Minister for Europe and Foreign Affairs of France, Jean-Noël Barrot. The program of visit will include negotiations and meetings with the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, businessmen and investors, as well as the members of the official delegation of two countries. Here you can see the presidential cortege, the President of Kazakhstan. Now, inside the car, the state visit has officially launched. All the meetings and negotiations will proceed. The famous Les Invalides architectural object, which contains museums and monuments related to the military history of France, as well as a hospital and the old soldiers' retirement home, which was the original purpose of this building. It also includes the Museum of the Army of France. Today, the state visits of the President of Kazakhstan will start from this location. Kassym-Jomart Tokayev will be welcomed by Emmanuel Macron himself. We have arrived in the Hotel des Invalides, where President Tokayev will arrive at any moment now. The history of the Hotel National des Invalides dates back to the 17th century, the reign time of King Louis XIV. It is made up of several buildings, the most famous of which is the Dome des Invalides. Inside is the tomb of Napoleon Bonaparte, which attracts the attention of visitors from all over the world. Les Invalides also houses the Museum of Army, which displays a vast collection of military artifacts, armor, weapons and historical paintings. French President Emmanuel Macron greets his respected guests here, emphasizing the historical significance of this location. So the official welcoming ceremony is now started at Les Invalides. You can now see the presidents of Kazakhstan and France. Emmanuel Macron and Kassym-Jomart Tokayev are staying together, and the national anthem of Kazakhstan now performs in front of the audience. Les Invalides is an iconic location where the military heroes of France are buried, including the great Napoleon Bonaparte. This is the entry part for the state visit of the President Tokayev, who visits the country second time in the last 2 years. Let's see now how the events will be unfolding in the capital of France, Paris. Now, Tokayev and Macron are introducing each other to the members of the official delegations of two countries. Also, it's a protocol part of the welcoming ceremony. Kazakhstan is represented by the key government officials and top managers of the biggest national companies, who will be discussing important issues of bilateral cooperation with their counterparts later today. The visit goes on. The journalists are in a hurry now. The next location where presidents will see each other face to face is the Élysée Palace. So the next location is the Élysée Palace, official residence of the President of France, Emmanuel Macron. You can see the President of Kassym-Jomart Tokayev is approaching his counterpart, the President of France, Emmanuel Macron. They are meeting each other, they're greeting each other at the Élysée Palace, and the visit will proceed furthermore. So afterwards, the negotiations, both in extended and narrow formats, are expected to happen, where two presidents will discuss issues related to the bilateral cooperation broadly. The program of the visit is very busy. The heads of state should be in time to discuss important issues on agenda on different platforms, also taking part in ceremonial parts of the visit. It will set the tone and pace of cooperation for the many years ahead. Discussing the current state and future perspectives of bilateral partnership, President Tokayev underlines that this visit is exceptionally important as it marks a new milestone in strategic relations between two nations. President Macron agrees, adding that in recent years, the partnership between countries has been significantly strengthened. Now, before going to a joint briefing, Emmanuel Macron invites his counterpart to talk informally in the yard of the residence. This is also a good opportunity to show President Tokayev two greyhounds of Tazy, Kazakh national dog breed. The dogs were given to the French president as a gift during his state visit to Kazakhstan last year.
Tazy dog is considered as one of the 7 treasures of Kazakh people.
According to a Tazy dog breed expert, Abzal Dosiman, who was the one who presented these dogs to the President Tokayev back in 2019, and then during Macron's visit to Kazakhstan, to give Tazy as a gift means a lot. Kazakh expert proposes a term of Tazy diplomacy, a special symbolic move which will help to reinforce diplomatic relations by gifting the most precious belonging of the Kazakh people.
When we studied international experience, we also studied China's experience. They have a concept which is called panda diplomacy. There was a time in history when diplomatic relations were severed because of the unexpected death of a gifted panda. This is all very serious. We're now initiating further amendments to the administrative code of Kazakhstan on issues related to uncontrolled mating of Tazy with other breeds, as well as export of Tazy out of the country.
Now back to the official track. Presidents Tokayev and Macron resume the results of their negotiations. Trade is something two countries will pay a lot of attention to. Last year, trade turnover between Kazakhstan and France reached $4.2 billion. The spheres of green energy, rare earth materials, climate, water management, innovation and artificial intelligence are also on the agenda of discussions.
Franция, Qazaqstanның Европадағы жақын әрі сенімді серіктесі.
France is a close and reliable partner of Kazakhstan in the European Union. Over 34 years, our relations have acquired a strategic character. Astana and Paris have established a political dialogue based on mutual understanding at all levels. Ties in trade and economic, investment, cultural and humanitarian spheres have been strengthened. A clear legal framework has been formed. Interaction within the framework of international organizations has expanded. I am confident that our partnership, based on unshakable friendship and mutual support, will be successful in the future as well.
En effet, les sujets régionaux et internationaux seront au cœur de nos échanges
France and Kazakhstan share similar views on key regional and international issues based on respect for the UN Charter, respect for the principle of territorial integrity and protection of human rights. Further strengthening of bilateral relations will bring new opportunities for mutual growth and prosperity, creating the basis for a sustainable and productive partnership for the long term.
The ceremony of signing documents and agreements follows. 5 agreements were signed in the presence of the heads of state. One particularly important is a strategic cooperation on 6AL electric locomotives, which was signed by the Kazakh Tazy National Railway Company of Kazakhstan and Alstom Transport SA of France.
First of all, it's a continuation of a long-term partnership that we have with Kazakh Tazy. We have invested for the last decade in Kazakhstan. We have more than 1,000 employees and we are continuing to develop. We are going to invest 50 million euros in the coming years to develop new depots. And this partnership, what we have signed today, is about the development of a new type of locomotive, the 6-axle locomotives, which will complement the fleet that we have already in Kazakhstan, which of course is of utmost importance for the freight within Kazakhstan.
Now we're in the exhibition hall of Guimet National Museum of Asian Arts, where 2 presidents, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev and Emmanuel Macron, will be introduced with very interesting and important historical relics of Kazakhstan. This exhibition is dedicated to the Kazakhstan heritage and will be available to all its visitors till the March of next year. The exhibition Kazakhstan Treasures of the Great Steppe represents the main stages of the history of Kazakhstan. Here, a sophisticated audience can find the relics of a diverse historical heritage of the Kazakh steppe, including the jewelry of the Golden Man, the lamps from the mausoleum of Hoja Ahmed Yasawi, and the chapan, the coat of the prominent Kazibek B. So we're now at the exhibition hall where 2 presidents, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev and Emmanuel Macron, are introduced to the historical relics of Kazakhstan. This exhibition is dedicated to the history of Kazakhstan. Now you can see that the presidents are walking through the important relics of Kazakhstan and Central Asia. So how was the idea came to create this kind of exhibition?
The idea arrived 1 year ago when our president visited your president in Kazakhstan. I had the honor to be with him. And so they asked me to organize this event for the visit here in Paris of your president. And we did it with a great pleasure.
So the next location is the business forum where the president of Kazakhstan, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, will meet with the biggest businessmen and the biggest investors of France who are interested, as we said previously by the ambassador of France to Kazakhstan, are interested to invest into Kazakh economy. Opening the Kazakh-French Business Forum, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev highlights that Kazakhstan accounts for more than 80% of France's trade with Central Asia. This year, the trade turnover has increased by 45% in comparison to 2023. The same trend is with French investments into the Kazakh economy. It has risen by 15%, reaching a record of $900 million. More than 200 French companies are present in Kazakhstan, and the heads of the leading ones are here today at the meeting with the Kazakh president.
Французские инвесторы присутствуют в каждой отрасли в Казахстане.
French investors are present in every sector in Kazakhstan. As a result of the negotiations, as well as the Business Council, agreements totaling $2.2 billion were signed. Speaking specifically, for example, Airbus has an enterprise to assemble and service their helicopters in Kazakhstan. And just a few months ago, we closed the final deal, as a result of which Airbus increased its investment in this enterprise. Why are they doing this? First of all, because they consider the market of Kazakhstan and Central Asia to be very promising.
French investors are interested in working more in Kazakhstan. Yesterday there was the first Franco-Kazakhstani Business Forum. There were more than 200 companies present. So it shows that there is a real interest of French companies regarding Kazakhstan. Today there is a new business forum, once again with the main French companies, about 15-20 profile companies interested in investing more in Kazakhstan. So there is this big trend of investment in Kazakhstan. And also we would be happy to also develop in the rigorous way to have also Kazakhstani companies starting to invest, continuing to invest in France as well.
Good to see you.
In the face-to-face meeting with the head of Orano, a leading company in the nuclear industry of France, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev emphasizes the great potential for further cooperation between Kazakhstan and Orano in the energy sector. Nicolas Maz, the head of the company, expresses the interest in widening the current partnership with Kazatomprom, national atomic company of Kazakhstan, mentioning the prospects of work in science and technology as well as in the field of mining and processing rare metals.
This was a really forward-looking discussions. After making the status of the current operations, we could discuss of the next 10 years project and as well start the discussion on what would come next for the very long-term discussions between France.
What can it include? What can include the next stage of the project we're talking about now?
Well, they could include, in fact, new joint investment with Kazatomprom. And this is what we've been discussing really. What kind of new project could we do jointly with Kazatomprom, the national atomic company, in the nuclear fuel cycle? At the moment, we are currently investing in a $150 million project. This is what will lead operations for the next 10 years. It's too early at this stage to discuss amount for what comes next.
So now the final location, the Élysée Palace again. Soon the state reception, which is hosted by the President of France, Emmanuel Macron, will start very, very soon. You can see that President of Kazakhstan is approaching the palace, and now the President is joined by the First Lady. So all together they are talking right now. Again, the handshakes, very, very warm welcome. Very warm welcome. Now they are holding each other hands. Oh, this is the very, very good sign because the leaders of two states are, welcoming each other in very warm manner. And now they are approaching the Élysée Palace where the state reception will start. Now you can see the presidents of two countries again posing for the photo and cameras, and now they are in the palace, so the ceremony will start soon. Among the guests of the state reception are the most important and famous people of two countries, including businessmen, artists and athletes. Singer Dimash Kudaibergen, the Paris Olympics gold medalist Yildoz Smetov, the Paris Paralympics gold medalist David Degtyaryov, all traveled from Kazakhstan to take part in the state reception by President Macron. And just at the end of the reception, Kassym-Jomart Tokayev enjoyed the game of table tennis with bronze medalist in table tennis at the Paris Olympics, Alexis Lebrun. The state visit now is officially over. You can see that the President Tokayev is accompanied by the Minister of Defense of France, Sébastien Lecornu. We are now at the airport of Paris. The visit was characterized as effective, but more importantly, warm and friendly, as two presidents truly was satisfied with the results of negotiations, and the multiple strong handshakes are the proof to my words. trade, economy and investments, as well as cultural cooperation will be on the agenda of bilateral partnership. Kazakhstan will remain France's trusted partner in the Central Asian region, and the relations are expected to deepen after this visit. That's it for today. See you next time.